is the 40th anniversary of Janet Jackson's Control album. I love Janet Jackson. In my eyes, Janet can do no wrong. She is perfect. I'm sorry. I love Janet. So it's the 40th anniversary of Control. And if you go back to that time period, there was no expectations on that album. I mean, Control ended up being one of the greatest albums of the 80s and one of the greatest albums of all time. But there was no expectations. Janet Jackson, back in that time period, she was better known as an actress than a singer. She was on Good Times. And then when she got a little older, she was on Diff'rent Strokes, where she played Charlene. And then she was on Fame. And during the Fame era, a little bit before the Fame era, she made, I think, 3 albums. She had her debut album, which is the picture of her in the pool, which is beautiful. And her last album was Dream Street before Control. And Dream Street was horrible. It was not a good album. So there was no expectations. Then now, her brother Michael, that's a totally different story. Her brother Michael had Off the Wall, which was great. And he made Thriller, which is just parabolic. It's just earth-shattering. And he became the biggest pop star in the world. So by that, I guess A&M said, well, let's give Janet a shot. She ends up working with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. At this point, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis are the main producers for Tabu Records. And they produced the SOS Band, they produced Alexander O'Neal, and they produced Sherelle. So at the bare minimum, if Janet had a tenth of what Jimmy and Terry did with SOS, Alexander and Sherelle, it's going to be a really solid R&B album. But again, no expectations. First single, What Have You Done For Me Lately? Oh. It's a simple video. It's just Janet and a bunch of girls and the guys in a diner. And that sound that Jimmy and Terry crafted for her was totally different than what they did with SOS or Sherelle or Alexander. It's just a totally different sound. And Paula Abdul choreographed the video, and the song, there was nothing on the radio that sounded like that song. It was a groundbreaking song because there was nothing that sounded like it. Then we get to the second single, Nasty. Paula Abdul once again choreographs it, and it gives us one of the most iconic phrases ever. My name is Janet, Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Oh! What did she say? That alone solidified it. It's like, I am in love with you, woman. My name is Janet, Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Oh my God. That iconic line will last for over 40 years. So we have Nasty. Then we have Let's Wait a While, which is a very sweet song. I wish the kids today had a song like Let's Wait a While. No sex, just kind of let's just love each other and let's wait a while before we do anything. I just wish we had songs like that today, but now everybody's walking around like strippers. It's just, oh, it's so different now. And that's when Janet, it was shot in black and white. Taimak from the Last Dragon was a co-star. And this is where we also see Janet with the key, her key on the earring, the iconic look that she had back then. And I think the last video off that album was Pleasure Principle. And I made a different video about that, where my mom, because Janet at that point, all those videos before then, Janet was wearing a lot of black because she was a thick girl. Thick now is like a thing, right? But thick back then, if you was a little thicker, they put you in a lot of black. By the time we get to the Pleasure Principle, she got worked out. Man, she looked good. And my mom, my mom saying, oh, she's wearing a wig. I was like, I don't care. And there's a moment when Janet flips off the boxes. It's like, oh, she's not doing that. And I was like, Mom, listen, I love you, but I don't give a damn. I didn't say that. She would have got the switch on me if I said I don't give a damn. But yeah, man. And then, one more video, Control. She had the Control video, which had a mini time review. And it was that video. The Control version on the album was really good, but they kind of remixed it. They expanded it in the video version. It was a mini time reunion because I think it was Jimmy and Terry, Jelly Bean. I think Jerome might have been in that. No Morris Day, and Jeanette Dubois, who played Janet Jackson's, I guess not stepmother, but her adopted mother on Good Times, because Chip Fields played her mother in Good Times. So Bologna, played by Jeanette Dubois, was her adopted mom. She was in the video. And it was great, man. It's like you had all this pop culture stuff in the video, but man, that extended Control version is great too. And one video that didn't get a video was Funny How Time Flies. So on one side, you have Let's Wait a While, which was just sweet and earnest. It's like, oh, that's so sweet. Like she's saying, let's wait a while. Let's not do anything right now. And then towards the end of the album, maybe at the end of the album, we have Funny How Time Flies. So seductive. So seductive. Because everything else we've seen prior to in every video, there was a sexiness to Janet, but nothing like over the top. It's like, man, she is a cool, she still had that girl next door look about her. That was kind of sexy, but still girl next door. Funny How Time Flies. That's like still one of the sexiest songs ever by not being lewd. It's just funny how time flies when we're having fun. The melody of that was crazy, but at the end, Janet starts moaning. It's like, and she starts saying stuff in French. She's like, she's moaning in French. What is happening? It's so good. Funny How Time Flies stands up so well. That album was great, man. But no one saw that coming. And then I remember, like in the Professional Principle, people were saying that she was a better dancer than Michael. Listen, Michael is great. I think it was just because Janet was so young. She was in her early 20s. She was doing stuff like the Cabbage Patch and things like that. She was really young when that album came out. But going back to her brother for a second, the reason we get Control is because of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson set 2 templates. With Off the Wall, he set the template that you at least got to have 4 hit singles if you want to be great off each album. And then he makes Thriller, and then he went 7 top 10 singles on only 9 songs. And moving forward from that, it doesn't matter if it was Lionel Richie or George Michael or Prince or Tina Turner or Phil Collins or Bryan Adams, U2, it doesn't matter. Like if you were going to put on an album back in the 80s, you at least had to go 5 singles deep. And that went through the 90s too. Like the people from the 90s, Jodeci, Boyz II Men, doesn't matter who it was. They looked over that, they saw that and said, man, we at least, if we're going to put out something, we at least got to have 4 or 5 singles deep. And that followed with Usher and Beyonce and Lady Gaga. Like the 2000s artists saw that in the 90s. Like, man, if I want to make an album, that's great. I got to go 4 or 5 songs deep. So that's why Katy Perry and Gaga and Beyonce and Usher and Bruno Mars, that's why they say, like, I'm not going to put anything out unless I have some hit singles on here. Now, because of TikTok, people they happy with 1 hit single or they're happy with 2 hit songs. It's like, nah. I miss albums that goes from almost 2 years. Like Madonna, when she had her debut album, it was out for so long, it bumped into Like a Virgin. And Madonna was like, I'm over the debut album. I want to put out Like a Virgin. And I miss albums like that can carry an artist for 2 years, not for 2 months. Yeah, we went from artists who are having like albums that lasted for 2 years to artists who have songs that last for like 2 months or sometimes 2 weeks. But I digress. So Janet Jackson's Control is just amazing. And it was her only album that was nominated for Album of the Year. Rhythm Nation was never nominated for Album of the Year. Velvet Rope was never nominated, or Janet. So that's why I get so incensed when I look over at Taylor Swift and she has like 4 albums of the year. And it's like, I don't care how many albums of the year she got. Her albums do not compare to Control, Rhythm Nation, Janet, and Velvet Rope. It just doesn't come close. If you would told me that Janet Jackson had 4 albums of the year for Control, Rhythm Nation, Velvet, and Janet, it's like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't she not? Versus Taylor Swift, I'm like, okay, 1989 and what else? Okay, maybe Folklore, but no. These albums are not as good as Control. So if you're a fan of Control and Janet Jackson, tell me what is your favorite songs off of Control? What are your 3 favorite songs? It's hard to do, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, for all intents and purposes, I shall try. No, I can't do it. I can't do it.